Yo, welcome back to Real Talk. I'm your host, again, A.K.A.N. S.K.Y. Hey, yo, let's talk about this racist ass planet, though. People say, oh, shit. He said the planet is racist. I don't give a fuck it is, dog. If that ass don't know that shit, that ass blind as a motherfucking bat. There is not no fucking place on this earth and so forth that is not slavery. Since the dawn of existence, and we was living in freaking daggone freaking Asia, there was slavery there, there was slavery in Africa, there was slavery in America, there was slavery in Cuba, there was slavery in Jamaica, there was slavery in America, there was slavery in Canada, there was slavery in Russia, there was slavery in England, there was slavery in Afghanistan, there was slavery in China, there was slavery in Japan. Us blacks, Hispanic, Native American, Semitic people, we've been in slavery around the whole fucking planet of Adam, what we pronounce as Earth, and even still, there's more slaves in 2025 than it was in the 1800s. So slavery never was ever finished. It only got worse. So at that point, tell Donald Trump to suck a dick. This whole world fucking slavery is a motherfucker. I'm tired of this racist ass shit, yo. Fuck it. I said what I said. Hope y'all enjoyed that shit. Oh, y'all want me to sit back and say more than that shit. Okay, not a problem. Proof that the world is fucking slavery, not an issue. There's modern slavery, which is part of sexism, ageism, child molestation, human trafficking, miseducation, degradation, segregation, media manipulation, well, global destruction. We thought thinking about the philosophies of global warming or terraforming of the planet. All this is part of slavery. And not to mention, every single demographic and nationality in the face of the earth has to deal with the stock market that was invented during slavery. The love of money is the root of all evil, right? So why is it any demographic or person is dictated the value of their money in any governmental philosophy by the American government that invented the global slave trade? With the help of the Vatican, the Ku Klux Klan, the Neo-Nazis, the Knights Templar, the Rothschilds, the Bush administration, pretty much Trump's ancestors, which is pronounced as Dead Trump, and all the way back to the Ashkenazi Germans, all the way back to the Russians, and what you say, Esau, Adumia, Khazar, Moab, Ishmael, Amalek, and Ammon, all these slave owners. You know what I'm saying? If you put it in the biblical context of if you understand the Bible, we just say modern, in modern speech, we just say Chinese, Japanese, Arabian, white people, Germans, British government, American government, Russian government, all involved in slavery, and the Vatican. Interesting, right? So at that point, like I just said, there is no one from any demographic of melanin that has freedom, because even saying that we minorities is a form of oppression. Alright? So like I said, the whole world is a fucking humongous freaking plantation. The mere fact that when we in jail, the federal government takes the fingerprints, then why the fuck is it that when people are born, they take their footprints so they come out their mother womb? Because motherfuckers are born as slaves regardless of nationality. So all this blacks, Hispanic, Native American, Semitic, Asiatic, well, ain't demographic or nationality for that matter. Even white people technically is economically slave. This is called debt therapy. I mean, excuse me, debt slavery. Because debt slavery is, people say, well, they have a MasterCard, a Visa, a Discovery, any type of daggone credit card. Damn. Why is it the federal government dictates in America that if thyself works at a 9-to-5 gig, they take a percentage out of the paycheck? They call it FICA, right? Y'all do realize that if people did enough research, the word FICA it refers to a donation, which means so for a donation is an amount of money that people would decide to give, not how much is dictated for somebody to give. So if the federal government sit back and dictates the narrative of how much the federal government takes out of everyone's taxes every fucking week when they get paid or whatever, or every other week, essentially this is called economic terrorism, right? Or legalized extortion, in other words, slavery, right? All right, so why then does the American government say, finance the economy by spending money that anyone does not have, and then motherfuckers sit back and leave motherfuckers in slavery or debt bondage, which is slavery? Yeah, if that's position and so forth, does not mean and so forth the whole world is fucking dictated a narrative and so forth of having shit that they cannot afford. In other words, everyone's in fucking slavery. So if the whole planet is in freaking slavery, essentially and so forth, there's no such thing as freedom. Alright? So tell America stop false advertising freedom because it doesn't fucking exist. There's no such thing as fucking freedom. Freedom does not exist. The American government was started during slavery. Alright, let's just fucking act like motherfuckers have a fucking 10th grade education for a moment and look at motherfucking history, because every fucking daggone fucking history book always proves and so forth. You know what I'm saying? That we got Black History Month, Hispanic Appreciation Month, Native Appreciation Month, but no Asiatic Appreciation Month. Why is it no Asiatic Appreciation Month? Because then if there was Asiatic Appreciation Month, they would teach us Blacks, Hispanic, Native, Hispanic, Asiatic people that we link back to the Bible and the Quran. In other words, they teach us and so forth that we was the people that wrote the gospel. And if they taught us that we were the people that wrote the gospel in the first place, they would not be able to keep us in slavery any longer. Now, at that position and so forth, this is exactly the reason why they don't teach us in school about Nat Turner either. You see what I'm saying? So if we knew about Nat Turner, he was a preacher and a revolutionary, we would know and so forth that melanated people that was in slavery stood for freedom from a spiritual connection with God. So if people was following God, it's hard to enslave people that actually know who they is. It's only some people to miseducate somebody to further put slavery. So this is why the school system itself is gendered towards philosophies of German perspectives. Yet the school system in America was patterned after the Nazi situation and so forth for the Germans in the first place, which most people do not realize that shit. So all this shit sound like slavery because it was designed at the female. To say this, people say nowadays the closer relationship for the female was the German philosophy. So people say female camps, which essentially is motherfucking internment camps. An internment situation is a re-education. A re-education means miseducation. Miseducation means enslavement. So therefore, for people who would not want to fight to stand up for freedom anymore because they would sit back and get indoctrinated. Assimilation. Well, integration is assimilation. All right, it's to integrate with the daggone German perspective of anything. Thyself would have to lose thy own identity. This is the reason why the Germans dictated a narrative of any demographic of melanated, so make it sense and so forth, do we minorities, and pretty much make up any freaking story about history they want to decide to say. That's why people say, it's his story. All right. So what about the story that predated the fucking Germans' perspective? The Asiatic perspective that we never get taught? The Bible and the Quran teaches a lot of education. They were actually free us from the lives of the Germans in the first place. Well, that's the reason why they don't teach us that in the first place. That's common sense. The federal government of America was not designed for freedom, yo. It was designed for slavery. It don't take a fucking genius to figure that shit out, yo. People been saying that shit way before I was even born. And no one's ever going to stop saying it. Shit will never end.